Yo, welcome. No 5 minute intro, no messing around. I'm back. I've got two bars up in that top corner, so I'm still having internet issues, but I'm connected and I'm here. And it's Monday night. So what does that mean? There's a fly in my room. Stupid thing. What does that mean? Monday night. It means we're breaking things down. It means we're talking about current TV shows. It means that we're gonna have talks and chats with Headless Ned Stark. It's Monday. That's what we all do on a Monday. We all come to Ryan Milky's channel and we hang out and we talk about current TV shows and breakdowns and slideshows. We haven't got a slideshow this week because, as everybody knows, I had no internet last week, and I've been really struggling to just try and catch up with everything this week. And I just thought, instead of having to sit down for 3 hours, well, probably 4 or 5 because we're three episodes behind, I thought, hey, we'll just come up and we'll just do it old school and we'll just talk. So please bear with us tonight. Please forgive us if we get names wrong or if we're not sure of the names. I don't have them on screen with me right now. I do have a little previously on Willow that I stole from the episode, so if YouTube want to take me down, they can, but I don't think they will. It's literally straight from the episode though, so we'll see. But yeah, guys, where's the hype? I know I didn't have any much hype. Somebody said to me the other day, weak intro, and it's probably just what it is. Look at these people in the chat. So we've got Nick Bayer going, good evening everybody. Yes, this Willow series is awesome, brings back a lot of nostalgia from the original movie. I'm impressed. Nick, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad to see your face on YouTube again. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your comment. Dude, yeah, I completely agree to an extent, and we'll get to why I say to an extent real soon. We'll just say hi to everyone else in the chat. Jones Vlogging Network is a new name. I support you, my friend. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Ryan Milky channel. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Christina Payne, Mod of the Century, welcome in. Funko, thank you very much. Umpty saying, woohoop, the internet is back. Indeed. Am I clear enough? I hope I'm not really fuzzy or anything. I know that I got the StreamYard thing up there saying that I've only got 2 out of the 3 bars, but I don't know what that means. And there we go. We got Baby Ice. We got Baby Ice 9119 saying hello, everyone. Baby Ice, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, guys, there's someone missing. There's usually somebody next to me, and he's not here right now. He's down there. So I think we're going to bring him on. I know you all know who he is already. He's Headless Ned Stark. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic YouTuber, and his numbers are actually blowing up these couple of weeks, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm really cool of his content. The video that he did recently about the priestess, fantastic video, and you definitely got to check it out. But yeah, he was just showing something to the camera, so I'm going to bring him up and he can show everybody. Guys, please welcome Headless Ned Stark. Woohoo, Headless.
What's up? What's going on, Ryan Milky? Welcome back to the land of the internet.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Nick Bayer just came in and goes, Ryan, the video quality looks good to me. He's blind. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Dude, yeah, the internet's back. It's working. I want to apologize to you because you had a real cool interview last week and I completely missed it. We did your breakdown on Sunday and my internet just went out and I was like, no.
I just thought you were ghosting me, man. I'm like, where's Milky in the chat dropping my info?
I know. I was like, damn it. I wanted to be dropping his info. I wanted to be there for him. It was cool. But guys, if you haven't checked it out, Headless was a guest on the Luau last Sunday. Definitely go check it out. It was a great chat. They talked all about football, Star Wars. They talked about loads of stuff. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He's a great guy, Andrew. I mean, he's fun. Yeah.
And look at the box of candy he sent you.
Oh my god, dude! I think I've gained 20 pounds. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
my wife's like, my wife is like, "Oh, you ate in her Snickers bar, huh?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, Snickers bars?"
I liked. I think you left a comment on Instagram saying to somebody, "I don't think my wife will let me keep them all," and I was giggling my head off for 20 minutes.
That's right. She actually in the house. She actually took quite a bit to school with her, and so I'm like, "Yeah, give it to the kids. They need it." I'm like, "I don't need it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great dude, great. He's always funny, and the pin inside is collectible.
Yeah, there it is.
I won one of those pins last night on his channel on his live.
I saw.
It was pretty crazy how he's like, "Who do I go to for Game of Thrones content?" And I was like, "This is rigged." It's brilliant. It's great seeing new people in the chat. I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's why we're here tonight, Headless. We're here to talk about Willow.
Willow, let's go, man.
We're a week behind. I know we were supposed to do 1 and 2 last week, so we have, like I say, haven't got slideshows or anything like that. But yeah, go ahead. Initial thoughts on Willow. What do you think?
So yeah, I mean, so far it's not bad. I mean, it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. It is funny, we were talking backstage, and I said that I feel like the last episode was my favorite, and you kind of were the other way on that one. You know, I think my biggest issue with it so far is they're trying to make it too current. Like the jokes are too 2022, you know, like we're in, you know, and even my wife, she even mentioned to me before I did my Wednesday live last week, and she's like, why are they making it like where some of the characters are talking like in that I don't know, that England or whatever accent, whatever, and some characters are like talking like they're straight out of like TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like it is kind of strange that like they're not, I don't know. But besides that, I mean, the story, I like where it's going. I also hope that that we continue to get more, but I don't want to see Bavmorda. That's the one thing. We don't need Palpatine again. You know, we've been there, done that. Can we please create something different? But we're only 3 in, we still have 5 left. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, like you say, we're 3 in. The first episode for me was fantastic. Loved it. Felt very nostalgic. One of the comments at the start of this live stream was from Nick himself, saying that the series makes him feel nostalgia. But that nostalgia is dying very quickly for me as every episode I'm watching. I feel like this episode is slowly. If Willow wasn't in it, I wouldn't even think it was Willow.
Yeah, I get that. I get that totally.
And I'm struggling with it a little bit because, especially this episode, like I went back. I watched it today, like episode 3, and I had to pause it, and I went back a couple of times because I was just checking like what's going on. But you know, we will get to it. So episode 1, we'll quickly break down. You know, we get the nostalgia. We get to see these new characters. Mad Mordecai's had children, and that's basically the premise of the story going forward. Is they're gonna, you know, Mad Mordecai's daughter is gonna set out to try and find him. Because he's not in the story. The why, because the character is actually ill in real life, so he wasn't able to be in the show. Yeah, you know, it's weird. I feel like what they should have done was give us Willow from the start and made it focus on Willow and Willow meeting side characters on his journey. Now it feels like Willow is a side character.
Yeah, I get that. And I think and I think that's why they dropped 2 episodes, because they knew that people will be really mad that you watch the first 49 minutes or wherever the first episode was, and you get Willow for like 2.5 minutes. Not maybe not even that long, really. And I think that's why they ended up dropping 2 episodes. So, yeah. Well, and again, going back to Andor, like again, I think at this point most people know I was not a fan of Andor, and I love Star Wars. But again, there's a reason why they dropped 3 episodes at once. That's because episode 1 and 2 was so awful, and at least episode 3 had a little bit of action, you know. So I think, you know, how about you just, if you're gonna have 8 episodes in a season, let's just go, man. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, why does it have to be so drawn out? And that's my biggest issue right now with Disney. I mean, Mandalorian. Why are they getting Mandalorian right? Like, Mandalorian is perfect. Like, I don't know what I would change. But all these other shows, even the Marvel shows, why is this so drawn out when there's 6 episodes or 8 episodes? So I don't know. You know.
So Jones vlogging says he's going to jet out, and he said Merry Christmas to everybody. Jones, thank you for popping in and saying hi to everybody. We appreciate it, and definitely may have a Merry Christmas, and we hope to see you back. We're live every Monday.
Yeah, I saw Jones
every Sunday.
And I saw Jones earlier ask, you know, what does the headless mean? So. Jones, I don't know if you ever seen Game of Thrones, so spoiler alert if you haven't. But it's basically this guy right here. So if you look underneath, unfortunately, my man gets his head cut off. So the Funko Pop says Ned Stark, but everyone knows it is Headless Ned Stark, and that's kind of that's the reason for the name. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my grail right there.
Definitely. And for anybody, I know that he was asking, what's this all about and stuff. Monday nights we do breakdowns of TV shows and movies. We've been doing TV shows from the start, but we will get into movies eventually. We are both collectors at heart, but we're also lovers of movies and franchises and, you know, all sorts of everything. So there won't be as much Funko Pop stuff here on a Monday night. But yeah, you know, that's what we are. We are collectors at heart, but we're also lovers of movies and franchises as well. So, you know,
although
that's all about. So go ahead.
This Sunday, though, check out my channel on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern because we're doing a huge Funko stream. It's gonna be epic.
We are.
I think it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, we're doing a great one. We're gonna take the year out. We're gonna take a bad year for Funko, and we're gonna end it good.
Yep.
That's where I'm gonna go with that. LJ stopped into the chat. Hey LJ, thanks for popping in.
What's up, LJ?
He's been dropping some knowledge for the show. He says here that it was boring, episode 3. And that he had been fast through some of it already. He'd been fast forwarding through some of it. It was so boring. So yeah, I completely agree. Sometimes, especially episode 3. Anthony Blaze is popping in, going, "What's up? Did you miss the 5-minute late intro?" No, Anthony, we didn't have a 5-minute late intro this week. I thought I'd please you. So yeah, episode 1, like I say, is more about being introduced to the characters, and then they leave the kingdom that they're in to go on their adventure, and then we meet the main character Willow right at the end. Then we come into episode 2, and it's basically the same. I feel it's just these characters are now being introduced to Willow.
Yeah, I mean, I did like,
and we're moving forward. We see a little bit of darkness, and
yeah, I did like the whole. I did like that. You know, the whole when seeing Willow back in the village, and you know, you kind of get some Easter eggs there with him being oh my gosh, I was about to call him the High Sparrow. That's not right. The High Aldwin, I think it is.
Yeah, the High Aldwin.
The High Aldwin. So that was kind of cool. You know, it's funny too. Because my brother is a big Willow fan, and I was messaging him during episode 3. And we kept going back and forth about some of the scenes, and he's like, well, what happened to Migosh? And what happened to Vankar? And what happened to Bubblecut? Or what's his name? Oh my gosh, Bubblecut or something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, Bubblecut. Yeah,
Bubblecut. And so I'm like, I don't know. I mean, so I looked it up. Man, it's very sad. Like Bubblecut died like a few years ago. Migosh is dead. Vankar is still alive. He's actually the dude. He's the little guy who's in those the Bad Santa movies. I don't know if you've ever seen those. The one with he's
the drunk elf.
Yep, he's the drunk elf. Yep. So he's still around, but a lot of those characters have passed away, unfortunately. And you know, I mean, God love my gosh, oh my God, what is his name? Wicked. Willow. What's his name? Why am I drawing a complete blank right now?
Warwick Davis.
Yeah, Warwick Davis. God love him because he's up there in age too a little bit. I mean, think about it. You know, he was in Return of the Jedi. You know, back in '83. He was probably in his 30s at that point. So now he's looking pretty good though for a 60-year-old guy. You know.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate that a lot of those characters have passed away. But I'm still curious though too. Going back to episode,
I'm just trying to pull up the cast so I can get some names because I'm terrible not being able to talk.
Yeah, and I've met Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis is fantastic. I have his autograph on Wicked. The dude is hilarious. But the one thing with Willow, I feel like, why are we not seeing? And I know we touched briefly on this, I think on my live, but like, where is his son? Why is his daughter around? But where's his son? And we didn't find much more information out about that in episode 3. But I'm still holding out hope that we're going to figure out, where is he at? So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully in the storyline we get that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a bit crazy. And then obviously we found episode 2. So I feel like episode 2's main storyline is we find out that Alora Dannon. We find out who the person is. The whole it's all explained to us, and then we basically follow her through this episode 2 of her trying to realize the powers and to use these magical abilities that she's got, and her being taught by Willow, the teachings and all this kind of stuff. The humor for me was good at 2. It was still reminiscent of the original.
At least when they were in a little town.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hey, Nadia, welcome in. Hey, yeah, Nadia, how you doing? That's good. Yeah, so Umpty says, I think his son is going to be a bad guy.
Oh, that would be painful. It'll be a hell of a twist, though.
It will.
As long as they have a good explanation. That's the key. Like, because it would make no sense without a good explanation. Because, like, the little kid in the original Willow is fantastic,
Mm-hmm. So I do, like I said earlier in the intro, I do have I literally grabbed the previously in Willow from the episode. So I'm just going to play that for everybody watching, and they can understand what happened as a quick recap for episode 1 and 2. It's a minute long, so we'll click that.
The only thing standing in his path is Elora.
You are the bravest man I've ever known, but you're not a great sorcerer.
Willow said I was Elora Danon. Truth is, I'm not special.
I'm rather fond of this girl. I need you to bring her home.
If she's out there, we'll find her.
Did you tell him who she really is?
The child has revealed herself. No rest till we find the girl.
What's gotten into you, Commander?
Told me the legend of the Chimerian cuirass. Your father, he spent 5 years searching the world for it. I know, because I was with him.
I've done it again and again, and guess what? Nothing's happening.
If you ever want to see Heck again, you have to focus. She was Elora Danon once. She isn't anymore.
So, yeah, that kind of fits into where we're at with our narration of episode 1 and 2. How I feel like that episode, she was just trying to learn powers and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Ballantyne is a very cool actor. He's in so many cool things. He was in Game of Thrones. He's been in this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a show called Salvage Hunters, and it's a show in the UK, but it's on like Gold, the network channel Gold, and it's around the world. He's the narrator for that show, and his voice is so reminiscent. So it's crazy. But yeah, I like him as an actor. And yeah, he was in Game of Thrones. And I'm going to test you now, Headless. Did you notice the second Game of Thrones character that we saw in episode 3?
I don't even know what Ballantyne played in Game of Thrones.
He was one of the guard knights at the wall, at the Castle Black.
So he probably didn't have a lot of lines then.
Not many, no.
Okay.
He had a couple, though.
So in episode 3, you said?
Yeah, there was a character in episode 3 that was also in Game of Thrones. Did you catch them?
He can't be the main cast. I'm trying to think who else we saw in that episode besides the Ballantyne and his 2 buddies, unless it was one of those 2 guys.
No.
No?
No, so it was one of the 2 females in the woods that she meets.
Oh, yeah. It was
Shame Lady.
Yes. It was the Shame Lady. You're right. Yes.
Scepter Elena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scepter Elena. Yes, the one who is really good friends with the Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good friends. Yeah, I noticed as soon as I seen her, I was like, oh, wow. And then in very Game of Thrones style, she was introduced in the show and killed in the same scene.
Yeah.
It was very Game of Thrones-esque. I was like, yes, that was nice.
So let's talk about that. Because so basically she escapes from the guy from Ballantyne.
Because she escapes.
Yeah, she escapes because magically she takes his knife without him knowing. She cuts herself loose and falls on the floor or on the ground, and nobody hears this big old thump. Ridiculous.
If you're carrying somebody on the back of your horse and it gets off, you're going to notice.
And I had mentioned that last week. I absolutely hated that part of it, but whatever. They end up finding out that she left, so they chased her down. But anyways, so she goes into these woods, and we see nothing but fog. So what did you? So where? Okay, explain the fog because it made no sense to me. Like, where was this? I almost thought this was all a dream at one point. So what do you make of this fog? And then all of a sudden, okay, all right. Well, at least I'm not alone. And because then all of a sudden she comes to this little town or little hut or cabin, whatever you want to call it, and there's these two females and all
crystal
the fog.
Clear, 4K.
Yeah, crystal clear. Like I didn't I didn't know like if these two like had some type of magical power where they were like kind of like hidden from everybody, but then like Alora was able to find them. I just didn't understand any of this. Like,
so I'm going to give you my quick take on that. I believe. Do you remember when she was a baby, and she was taken into the woods, and we had that crazy fairy lady tell us about what the baby was going to do in the original movie?
Yes. Okay. So that was yes. Who was that? What was her name?
I don't remember her name, unfortunately.
It wasn't Rise.
So I believe that this could be some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of illusion that this fairy woman has put on for to be able to. I don't understand, but I feel like it was there because she knew that person was following her. You know, so Valentine was following.
Okay. So you see, it's so, man, I don't know.
But I could be completely wrong. But yeah, I believe that's my only plausible explanation that I can think of. The fairy woman in the original movie was this person that did this thing, and is connected to Laura Dern in many ways.
But do you think they were actually real people? The two females?
No.
So you think it was all fake?
I think it was the fairy. But it was being portrayed to Allura that it was just two females. Because for me that whole scene took it completely out of the world and realm that we were in. I was like, why would these two people just be here in the woods? Why are they here in this world? Who are they? What are they? What? And they clearly had no significant reason for the storyline because they were killed in the same scene.
Right. Yeah. Even though they were, pretty popular, like they're actually pretty famous. Not, I don't want to say famous, but like they're actually well-known actresses, both of them. I didn't know the other one personally, but I just noticed the Game of Thrones actress. Yeah. I don't know.
It just made no sense to me. Made no sense to me whatsoever. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, the whole scene was really, really strange. And then all of a sudden Valentine shows up, and like you said, they basically are just dead. It's like
Yes, We're talking about the Wood Ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had mentioned last week too. I thought something with fairies was going on here because it was so random, and then it was over like that. And then all of a sudden, she's basically back on the back of the horse, tied up. And I'm like, so what was the whole point of all that? Like why? Why do we have to sit through that? And
she runs through the woods, doesn't she? And she gets them killed. And then he tells her, it's your fault that they're killed. You did this. You ran away and made this happen. To make her not understand what's going on with her own self. But it was just super strange. And
it was weird.
The continuity, for me, the continuity of the episode, it completely messed up. For me, this was a 4 out of 10. I'll give you my score right now before we even get to the end of the breakdown. Episode 3 for me was a 4 out of 10, and it completely dropped off a cliff. And I'll give it a couple more. I will complete this series because that's what I do. I'll do something and I'll stick to it. I will watch a bad show if I have to watch a bad show because I said I'll do it. But I'm hoping it's not going to do that.
And see, if I rewatch this episode again, maybe something comes up in the next couple episodes about this because I just don't understand the point of it. I almost like would skip that whole part because I feel like it doesn't mean anything. Because I really enjoyed the second half of the episode. I really liked it when they were getting closer to the portal, and I liked the little the end
dark
episode. I liked it, but I didn't understand why did we have to watch this? Like, what was the point of this? And again, maybe we'll find out. Maybe there's something there, but it really
dropping the knowledge bombs again.
Weird.
Umpty thinks that it may be made her understand who she was and the power that she has over people. Because they were very understanding of who the princess that was promised was going to be, and it's like, okay, you're just going to talk about it like instantly out like that. As soon as she said the name, they understood who it was supposed to be. So I don't know. Michael Price, welcome in, buddy.
What's up?
Stopping in to support my two buddies. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody here tonight. Please don't forget to hit that like button, either on your way in or on your way out. But yeah, guys, we're literally just talking about episode 3 of Willow and where we're going with it. For me, like I just gave a quite a controversial scoring of 4 out of 10. It's my lowest rated episode so far, and Headless kind of enjoyed it a little bit, and it kind of perked his enjoyment up for it a little bit. And I love that, because that's why we're here. We both have polarizing differences and opinions, and that's cool about it. But I don't know. Like I say, we just had this scene where she meets these people in the woods, and it made no complete sense to me whatsoever. I felt like it was a complete disconnect from the world and the realm that we were in. The continuity of the episode for me couldn't stick. 1 minute we're here, the next minute we're here. Like 1 minute she's tied up on a horse, the next minute she's fighting. And can I please make a note of why is the clothes so clean all the time?
Huh. Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Consistently, they're perfectly pristine clothes, and I'm like, no, this makes no sense. You're supposed to be in an apocalyptic fantasy world.
We gotta make new Disney princesses. What are you talking about,
dude? But are they really doing that? We're going to break down every male character to rise the females. It doesn't make any sense. I hope that's not what they're doing.
So real quick, let's go back, because we kind of skipped some stuff. So at the end of episode 2, we see Allura getting captured by Valentine. So okay, and I know I mentioned this last week. It to me it looks like it's 2 a.m. Like it's dark. He's capturing her, and then all of a sudden, beginning of episode 3, it's like 7 a.m. and it's bright, and they all catch up to him. Like, what is that? Like, what? Like they all catch up to him, and then they're all fighting, and Willow, my man, is like in the back. He's like, "Whoa, what should I do? Let me throw a smoke acorn bomb, and then that helps Valentine get away." Like,
so
what
do you think he knew what he was doing with that? Did he think he was helping her, or did he realize that his people were getting killed, and he thought, "I need to stop this"? It didn't make any sense.
No, I have no idea what that was about. That was really, like I said, the first half of this episode was terrible. I just enjoyed the second half. That's why I
couldn't see much of the second half. I'm sorry, but I couldn't see much. It was really dark. It wasn't an issue with my TV. It was an issue with the episode.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to keep being negative on the show, but it is good in its way. Like the end of the show made me feel things. We'll get to that. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just not Willow. That's all I'm gonna say. It's episode 3. It's just not Willow.
Yeah, it's just tough when the only character that really we've seen is Willow from the original series, and like, why would they not keep Sorsa in it? Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it, she's a queen now. She's probably in her 60s. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but like, if you're in the show at all, like, why is she not more of a main part? Like, I feel like we're not going to even see her again. Maybe in the last episode we'll see her.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Sorsa in the last episode, and I really don't want to get the old woman back, the mother. Really don't.
Oh gosh, if Bev Morta comes back, I'm out. Like, I mean, like I said, we've seen enough of this. I mean, I
completely agree, dude. It can't be done.
We've seen enough. We've seen Palpatine 16 times. We've seen Slimer come back in Ghostbuster. Like, I'm like, enough. Like, come up with something new. I don't know, but
yeah, nostalgia. They can't keep holding on to nostalgia and keeping it. Doesn't. Nostalgia isn't going to, get you through a whole series.
No. Like right now,
it was all about character development to him. Learned a lot of things in this episode if you watch closely.
I mean, that's fine. Like, here's the thing. So, what is the reason why we're continuing Willow? Like, okay, so we have Allura, fine, and we're trying to, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Name 2 things that you like about the show.
I mean, I'd like to see Willow do more. Is that a good thing or no?
Yeah,
we haven't really
Willow
seen him
Willow
do
and Borman. Willow and Borman for me.
Yeah, Willow. I was gonna say, and Borman, because he is taking on the Mad Mardigan role. I don't know. I mean, again, it's only 3 episodes. I don't want to be down on it because I still enjoy watching it, but I'm not rewatching it. Like House of Dragon and Game of Thrones, like I'm rewatching. Even Rings of Power, I rewatched. I have not watched one episode more than once yet. So,
can you name 2 things you dislike about the show?
No, sure. The jokes are terrible.
Look how quick they came.
I absolutely hate the jokes, like especially Kat or Kit. I think it's Kit, right? Princess Kit.
I hate that she's called Kit because it's Kit Harington to me, and
I know. And then and for me, I think back to like Kit as in like Knight Rider. I can't stand the name. Like I wish they would just call her full name. I don't know. I just feel like, why do we have some characters who feel like they are in this age, and some characters feel like they're straight out of 2022 on from TikTok?
Yeah,
like it's such a weird blend.
It's Disney trying to connect the two
from younger, and I know, and I get it to a point, but then make a new show for that because this is
it with She-Hulk. They did it with She-Hulk.
And why didn't even watch She-Hulk? Because I heard it was so awful.
I didn't watch it either. Yeah, but I know that they did that kind of thing. I want to point out something. Maybe it was just my crude mind that picked up on this line, or yours. But we were watching a Disney show, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Disney's for children, correct? Primarily, it's based at a younger audience. So when Alora gets into the woods and she finds these 2 ladies in the woods, she says a line that was quite striking for me for a Disney show. She says, "Men are coming for me," and then she goes. She looks at her as if she's a pretty princess, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sure they are." And for me, that was an innuendo for something pretty crude and rude. And I didn't know if that was just my mind or if that was actually implied. Because for me, it was wrong.
So the Game of Thrones lady said that probably?
So, yeah, Alora said to her, "The men are coming for me." And she looked at her up and down as if to say, "You're quite attractive." And then she goes, "Yeah, of course they are." And I was like, whoa, this is a Disney show. You know? It was crazy. It was a bit weird.
And again,
I don't know if you noticed that or if it was just my crude mind and my mentality that was picking up on things.
I don't know. I think when that whole scene happened, I kind of like started spacing out because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, what just happened? And I kind of started thinking about like, what are they trying to do here? But like,
did you even get the camera reference to the little people? There was in that woods. There was a scene where the smaller of the 2 ladies, so not the Game of Thrones lady, but the smaller of the one, she was kind of sat in a way where the camera angle made her look like one of the tiny people from the original movie. And I was like, is that a callback? Is that a shout back? Maybe she played the character in the show. I didn't know, but
you're talking like the brownies, right?
Yeah, the brownies. Yeah. I kind of caught like a brownie-esque shot.
Yeah, I didn't have a huge issue with that. I mean, I just want to get some brownies now.
I wish
where are the brownies at?
I wish we had some brownies. Like, come on. Even the food ones, they're tasty. It is crazy. Yeah, we've been going for 35 minutes, and I didn't even know we'd get this long talking about it. Like, we haven't even gone through the episode. Like I say, it starts to get darker, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I like that. I do like that because I like to have some feeling for these characters. I will say though, if you take the red-headed lass out of the show, I'm not going to miss her. She doesn't do anything. Who is she?
Yeah, she's useless. Jade. Yeah.
Jade.
What has she done? She's done nothing. She gets to fight Valentine or Valentine or whatever the hell.
Valentine. But then when you find out later in the episode,
who's dead, we don't even need to know his name at this point because he's dead anyway. So who cares?
But he raised her, and I felt something for him in the end. But when that came out, and I was like, wait, what? You raised her? Why was that? Why was I never made aware of that throughout this entire thing?
Yeah.
Them fighting earlier would have had so much more ramifications in the feelings that I had towards them if I'd have known that at the beginning. Exactly.
And why didn't they develop his character a little more in the first 2 episodes? Like he was just kind of there, and then he all of a sudden like becomes like he gets gets the little thing on his chest, and then all of a sudden he's the bad guy, and like we don't even know anything about him, and then we're supposed to just feel all the stuff. Like I didn't give a crap. I'm like, just kill him. Who cares? Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Hojo's still here listening. We appreciate you, Hojo. Hey, you guys. That's his intro. I love that thing. And Umpty is here saying that Willow had the biggest part of the episode, though.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And we're getting onto that. We're getting onto that right now. We're probably not even at the end. It's probably pretty towards the beginning of the dark bit where he does the whole Gandalf trick and he throws the stick down. I so wanted him to say, you shall not pass.
So really quick, so we did skip quite a bit in the front. So the very opening scene, what did you think about that? When we kind of went back a little bit and they're talking about the armor and it gets like, because that kind of has to play with the second half of the episode. I don't. It was called what was the voice? I knew it last week. I don't remember what it was because I've literally talked about Willow since.
Yeah, I don't know the names.
I think I might have it in my notes still.
Yeah, the armor is enchanted, and
they
have to get this kind of key. You have to go looking for a key.
Yeah, it's called the. Yeah, I have all my notes from last week actually right here.
Awesome.
What is it called? Luxor Cannon.
Oh, the Luxor Cannon. Okay.
So that's what it gave the armor the enchantment. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, I again, the beginning was like, that was one of my biggest issues is that at the beginning they're talking about that, and Borman, and Borman's talking about it, and then all of a sudden they stop the story, and Kid is like, "Oh, now I know why they call you Borman." I'm like, that is the worst joke. First of all, it's the worst joke ever. Number two, it has no business being in this time period, and that's the kind of humor, the humor they're throwing in this series that I absolutely can't stand.
Yeah, she came in with literally a 2022 power bomb and was like, "Hey, stop talking about lore and storyline that everyone's loving, and let's get back to being idiots on the screen." I'm super excited for that aspect of the storyline. I can probably envisage that Kit's going to be wearing this armor,
or somebody. Yeah,
I think it's going to be Kit. Borman's going to be sacrificed. It's going to be Kit that has it. This is where I'm completely guessing because I don't have a clue. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That the armor's going to be on Kit, and then they're going to make Kit the ultimate hero of the show. Then it's what Disney are on at the minute, and I'm afraid to say it, but they are on the female hype train, and it's pretty sad to say.
I mean, at least we have seen Allura get some training, which is cool. I mean, all of a sudden she's growing trees and all this, unlike other Disney characters we've seen in big franchises. At least she got training. Anyways,
but yeah, I know you took us back a little bit because of the armor thing, and we were
but that'll take us to the next part.
Yeah, what do you think of the joke where the Willow says, "If only we could get everybody to stop fighting and get back in the cart," and then the cart blows up, and they're like, "Never mind, keep fighting."
Again, it's not really. It's just
it was comedic value. I think when Willow gives it, it's good.
But it's fine. But like even Willow in the original, like when was Willow like that funny? He wasn't.
It was the other characters.
It was Brownies and Mad Mardigan. Like Willow wasn't the funny character. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Crazy, though, right? And then we get to the bit where it looks like that they're all getting hurt and they're all getting killed by the team of zombies that seem to be indestructible, weird zombie things. Valentine and his men. And we think that it's going to be the end. Clearly, it's not because we're only on episode 3. And Willow decides that he read the script and he's actually a magician and he's got magic powers. And he stamps his stick down like Gandalf would, and we get this pulsating energy coming out. Really, really cool shot.
It was
really,
cool.
Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, and it took away the evilness from Valentine and his men. And then, kind of, in the whole kerfuffle of it, I forget his name, and it pains me to say that, but it was the little guy that's with Willow, his friend.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny too because like I didn't even know who his name was until I like put in subtitles because they barely ever mentioned him.
Mm-hmm.
But his name is Silas.
Silas. For me, Silas is a fantastic actor. The guy that plays him, fantastic character. He had so many great lines with Willow.
And how do you think he died?
Off screen. He got thrown.
We see him die on screen, but why do you think he died?
To levitate the female characters, in my opinion. But
like, what actually killed him in the show? How do you think he actually died? Why do you think he actually died?
Brute force to the rock.
Because he falls into a rock. Yeah.
He gets thrown to a rock. Yeah. He gets thrown onto a rock in a fight by a taller person.
Okay, sure. So I guess he hits his back of his head. Maybe, I don't know. I thought it was horrible. It was so dumb, and he like dies within like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so, it was sad. I was a little bit sad. I felt something.
I just thought it was terrible. Like the dude gets blown back by a blast, falls into a rock, and he dies. I mean,
it was well placed, wasn't it? There was a victory in the fight, and then we had to have defeat within our friendship group. Yeah. You know, it's classic storyline telling, but it's Disney storyline telling that's the worst thing about it. But yeah, I gave you my answer that if I'm going to go deep into it, I believe that they kill enough the male characters to raise the female characters up, and by the end of it, it'll just be a whole merry-go-round of female characters at the end of this show. You know, but that's just the way I'm feeling right now at episode 3. I hope I don't feel like that going forward. But yeah, you know, we get the sad moments. We missed the whole part where Spider-Man, the guy from Spider-Man, I can't think of his name, is the prince that's supposed to marry Kit.
Graydon,
yeah. Graydon sets himself up for a story arc in episode
2,
I think it is, where he's on the back of the horse and he says, you know, you have to be courageous and all this kind of stuff. And then later in the episode, he does and he becomes courageous. So that was okay. That was a good storytelling. But yeah, I just don't know where we're going with this. Like we get to the end of the episode and we find out, you know, where we are. And it is the castle that was in the original movie where the old bad lady was, and the vortex of the circle is above it, and then they're being drawn to this area.
Yeah, so we get to see Knockmar Castle.
That's it, Knockmar Castle. I appreciate that you're here with the knowledge today, because it's usually me with the knowledge, but I'm just not. I'm so far behind it.
Yeah, then the other thing is too. Don't forget that before we get to the final battle, there we do get to see Kit battle the were-rats. Don't forget about the were-rat.
The were-rat. I was actually happy with that, dude.
The were-rat was cool. I'm like, yes. I'm like, at least it's not CGI.
Yeah, I was happy that it was stop motion capture, because it reminded me of is it a dragon in the original?
Well, it was like
the two-headed dragon.
When the troll gets zapped with the magic and he becomes like, I don't know, those two like little.
Yeah. It looks like a two-headed dragon in the original.
Two-headed, yeah. So that was pretty cool. I like that.
Like I giggled when. Well, sorry, Hojo just distracted me with his comment. He goes, "With you guys, I don't have to watch any of this. I can just watch you two." Hojo, that's what we're here for. Thank you. Yeah, and if I'm on form, I usually have photos to go along with our talks, so you are aware of what we're talking about and have a visual representation. But this week I've just been really lazy and haven't done it, and I've got so many lives that I've got to try and do this week. But back to my monologue of what we were just saying, the rats. I giggled so hard because when she's looking at it and it comes into shot, it's teeny, it's a tiny little thing, but then when it jumps at her, it's like a dog.
It was so
like,
weird.
What the frick?
And then it's like they lost their budget because when they're running out of the cave, we don't get to see them. We just get to see these bright eyes in the cave. I'm like, what do they do? Their budget got cut there or something. Like, why can't we see them? Whatever, dude.
It was crazy. Like, he says that he's down there, isn't he? Borman's down in the hole, and he says, "Be careful of those weir rats." And she's like, "What's a weir rat?" And he goes, "Oh, you'll know when you see it." And then he wants help up, and she's like, "There's something here." And he goes, "What is it? Is it a weird rat?" She goes, "I think it is." He goes, "I think I'll stay down here then." He's giving me the comedic relief in the show. He's brilliant.
Yeah, I do like Boorman. I think he's pretty funny. But he does find the
key.
The Luxor
it looked like Ray had found a lightsaber that she found in the episode with Luke. Yeah,
it literally looked like a flashlight. But yeah, he finds the Luxor cannon for the armor. But so originally they went there because So did you catch this? They went down in that cave or cavern or whatever you want to call it, or catacomb, because previously Boorman and Med Mardigan had hid the armor down there, and that's why they went down there, is to go find that armor. And he couldn't find the armor, but he found the Luxor cannon. So I thought that was interesting. I did like that part of it. It's just too bad that Val Kilmer, in real life is just struggling so much with that. What is it, like a throat cancer or something? I think it is. And so it's really unfortunate that he probably won't be in there. I mean, I heard maybe season 2 he may be able to do a cameo or something, but
if we don't get season 2.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a little unfortunate that he's not in this, because I think that would bring a lot to it. But Boorman is basically they're trying to make Boorman take his spot, which I think Boorman's my favorite character right now. So.
Yeah, and Boorman is my favorite character right now, and it should be Willow. So it kind of says a lot about the show, but I just haven't seen enough of Willow for it to be a Willow show. I haven't seen enough of him.
Well, the other thing they mentioned in the show was with Willow. They had mentioned that like when he uses his magic, like he does, he almost like gives away some of his life force to use that magic, and like I don't know,
he doesn't have unlimited power. He has limited power for as long as his flesh will allow.
Exactly, but like when was that explained in the movie? Like
it wasn't, because he didn't have many powers. He became a sorcerer after the first movie.
But is that why Rizal is like, she's like, at one point in the movie, Rizal says to Man Mardigan, she's like, "I'm a young, beautiful woman." And then next time we see her, she's like about 68 years old. And he's like, what's going on there? So I don't understand, like, unless that's just the way magic works in this, in
this universe, in this realm,
universe, right? But again, like that would be nice. See that, I feel like that's something that we need to explore. Then, like, like if
so you're telling me that one day Willow's going to make a wish or do a spell and he's going to die because of
it. Exactly. That's exactly right. And it's like, how much magic has Willow used over the last 30 years? Because he's looking pretty damn good, for his age. So, I don't know. Again, there's just a lot of question marks. I don't know if we'll ever get these answers, unfortunately.
And that's why I'm still watching it, because we still have questions and we still have, it's still making us laugh, and I'm still enjoying it. So that's why I'm still watching it, to answer the question that you asked earlier. Why are we watching Willow? Why are we continuing to stick with it when some of these things are really hard and some of these things are being pushed in our faces by Disney's executives pretty obviously? It's obviously what they're doing in my eyes.
No.
I literally, guys, I just want to say I speak alone with these things that I say. If I ever say something that's my opinion, that doesn't mean that anybody in the panel or anybody in the chat is attached to those opinions, because I do and can and will say some controversial shit sometimes. just saying. But yeah, no, it's crazy. And we're gonna, I think we pretty much broke down the whole episode. We get to the end, and it was a good cliffhanger. I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Hopefully, they get into the castle. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see, is there anything going on in there? Because they make it sound like it's completely deserted. Dude, I would love to get like
dogs
again. I would have to look up to see if General Crawl is actually dead in real life. It'd be great to get a small cameo of him or something. I would have to look up to see if he's. I don't know if he's. I know
even
Eric.
If he's dead in real life, though. We could just play somebody in the school costume. It doesn't have to be
true. I know Eric in the original I know he passed away a few years ago because I looked him up the other day. So I know he passed away. There's actually not too many characters that are actually alive. Balmorda is still alive, by the way, in case you're wondering that. The actress who played Balmorda is still alive.
But the curse that she put in the film banished her from that world, so I don't see how they can bring her back.
Right.
Continuity issues. It's a serious continuity issue if they bring her back in this series. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I had mentioned that last Wednesday. I said, the whole purpose of her in that movie was she didn't want to kill Allura, because if Allura was killed, she would just reborn and it would start all over again. But by banishing her to a different dimension, that way you keep her out and she doesn't get reborn. So that's really the whole premise of the movie. And I think a lot of people get confused with that, and they're like, "Oh, she's just trying to kill her." No, that's actually not true. So when Willow, when Willow does the old disappearing pig trick, and she ends up banishing herself to a different dimension. So technically, Balmorda is still alive. It's just a matter of, do they want to try to bring her back? And I
really hope that Disney don't do it.
I
hope
agree.
that they don't just get bad reviews for 7 episodes and then they decide just bring her back in the final episode and it'll get people talking. For season 2, Bad Morta's back. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? And all this kind of stuff. No, I don't want that.
Because right now we don't really know a whole lot about the evil or the bad guy who without.
Yeah, what's her name? What is the bad guy's name in this? They mention it. She mentions it. Allura mentions it.
They call them different names. There's several actually. Is it the Crone?
The Crone. So
the Crone, and they mention there's a couple of them.
The Crone. That's what I'm referencing. The Crone. If you want us to understand and have care for these people that we're watching through this journey, you need to give me some understanding as to who the bad person is, so that I can be invested in that person's defeat. I can't be invested in the bad guy's defeat if I don't know who it is. And I therefore can't connect myself to the journey and the victory of the good people in the show and their triumphant storyline when I'm not invested in the bad guy. The original movie does so good because it throws the evil queen at you. I'm really bad with names today. It throws her at you consistently through the show. She's the bad guy. She's the bad guy. She's the bad guy. She's got the evil. She's like the evil stepmother from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that with the Crone in this show yet. And yeah, maybe we'll get it in episode 4. Maybe it's 8 episodes. Maybe 1 to 3 was building, like Umpty says in the chat. It was character building and development. And then 4 is going to hit hard. And then it's going to be good storyline all the way through to the end.
Especially
Disney,
with now,
if you're watching, that's what we want.
Yeah, and especially with Valentine being now dead. At least we're presuming he's dead. Like, he was like the only bad guy that we actually knew of for the most part. Like, we've seen scenes and pictures and images, but like we don't really know anything else. But Valentine is now dead. So
he was just overtaken. He was there was badness in him, wasn't it? We seen the weird guy in the cave talking about
right, and that's true because it really wasn't him. It was
because then at the end of this episode, as I was on previously, sorry to cut you up there, Headless.
Yep, no, go ahead.
The Spider-Man dude, the prince, he looked like he'd been hit with the evil stuff.
And I was about to bring that up because we hadn't talked about that. Yeah, he looks like he was infected with the evil magic or whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
So that's like somebody in their own camp now is going to have to do this. So I don't know what they're going to do because it's not like you can drop the finger off. You can't. It's here. It's on its own.
I mean, I'd like for them to chop his head off because I hate that character. But that's just me. Because I think he might be the worst character in the show. But again, that's the character he's playing,
Jade.
and he's probably going to have a complete turnaround and be the savior at some point.
Yeah, the worst character for me is Jade, and the second worst character is Kit.
Jade, I don't understand the character. She doesn't do anything. She's just there, and
I'm sorry, another controversial twist, but she's there for Disney to place the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender check mark box in the episode.
Yeah.
We are diverse. Tick the box. We have a black character. Tick the box. That's just the way it is for me, and that's the way Disney will always be, unfortunately. But I don't want to keep shitting on Disney. I'm a Game of Thrones fan at the end of the day, so that's there's a big difference, Yeah. And let me catch up with chat because we've had a couple of comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Auntie says, I don't think Davis would have come back if he didn't think that if he'd had a good part. Dude,
point.
Willow is amazing in this show. There is all of the criticism that I throw towards this show, it all bypasses Willow. Probably because I'm shouting it from a rooftop and he can't. He's low down. That's a small joke, But yeah, nothing against Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis is a genius. He is a one of a kind special actor and will always be part of that. We also have one for both of us. Milky, Ned, Christmas cards and stickers were sent out today from Umpty, so hopefully we'll get them before Christmas. Umpty, thank you very much.
Let's go. Thanks.
I appreciate you, Umpty. Everybody, please check out Umpty Scratch 13 on YouTube. Check out umptyscratch.net on your interwebs. He has a really cool website. And yeah, he's got cool stickers. Check him out. He's also given us some more stuff here. He says, I think that the bad guy is going to be Mad Mortigan, and that's why his son was taken, or at least he was part of it.
Oh, that'd be painful. I don't know about that one. I disagree with Umpty on that one.
If they're going to do that, they're going to have to do that off screen because we have not got any screen footage of Mad Mortigan this season, except, well, we haven't got any Val Kilmer footage.
Yeah. So
I don't know what they do. Unless they do a guy in a cave, a guy in a dark cell. We can't see it, but we can hear it, and it's just the voice.
I really want to know what's going on with Willow's son, though. And there we go.
Yeah, I think Willow's son may show up in part 2. In that part 2, okay. And then we also have, in the beginning of the episode, the prince said stuff that let us know he was about dark magic. So I would be surprised if he ends up not infected. Yeah. Yeah, and like...
Yeah,
he was weird. They all line up in the episode and they're looking at the clouds that are forming, and then he just knows what's being said.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that? Oh, yeah, you read the script. My bad. And then you have to find out about Mad Mortigan, though. He was good, but he was bad. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. Why was he locked up when we found him? We don't know these things. We don't know what he really did, and we have to just go off it. His jokes make you like him, but his realness might not be to be likened.
I need a Mad Mortigan prequel now.
Mm-hmm. I just think he's brilliant in the show.
Yeah.
In the original movie, he's fantastic, and he definitely elevates the whole show. But yeah, dude, we reached it to an hour. We didn't think we'd do this, but we did.
We did. We made it.
We can always talk about anything for 60 minutes. I'm sure we could. Yeah. So I want your overall rating. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
What's your rating for episode 3?
Well, it's funny because like the first half I hated, but I really enjoyed the second half. Again, the jokes in the beginning really just unless something happens with these two females that Alora found, I feel like if we don't ever go back to that, the first half of the episode was useless to me. I just feel like it was stupid. Why escape and go to these and then they die and then we end up where we're going to end up anyways. But I did enjoy the second half. I liked that they talked about how Borman and Mad Mortigan hid that armor. They went looking for it. Now, why did it happen to be right where they were walking? I don't know. Who knows? The were-rat thing was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I did not like how Silas died. I thought that was you at least have the guy get stabbed. Like he literally get thrown against a rock and he dies. Like that was stupid. Couple cheesy jokes here and there, but overall, I still think it was my favorite episode just because I think there was enough action and at least it moved the plot forward and we got to see where they're headed. And where I thought episode 1 was okay because we had to learn the new characters. Episode 2, I did enjoy episode 2 because we got to see the old village. We got to see a lot of Willow. I just feel like it just was very stagnant. It didn't move the plot at all. It really didn't. And then all of a sudden he's training her and she gets captured. So, I mean, overall, I would say, I don't remember what I rated the first 2 episodes. I'm probably a little bit lower on them now. But overall, I would say it's like a 7 out of 10 for this episode. And right now in the series, I'm probably like around 6.5. So
okay, Yeah, I have quite a cool analogy for everybody listening and for yourself, Headless. Do you remember those things in like newspaper articles and stuff where you had to, it was like a maze. It was like a game that you could play in the newspapers. And you had only one of the paths led to the cheese, and the mouse was here and the cheese was here. Do you remember those kind of things?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Loads of paths, but only one of them was the correct one.
Yep.
I feel like that picture personifies Willow for me right now. The storyline goes like this, and it leads to where it's going, but then it leaps all the way back around here again.
Yeah.
And then it comes back round, and there's multiple things connected into it, but eventually we'll get to the cheese. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I literally just thought of that as you were giving your thoughts of the show as a whole. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. I stick with my 4 out of 10. I commend you for your 7 for this episode. I don't know what you were watching. Maybe I need to subscribe to an American service.
You didn't like the second half of the episode, huh?
No. I liked parts of it, but currently I'm too deep in. Disney are throwing too much at me for this, and it's too obvious, and I can't get out of that. I'm trying to watch it and observe it as a neutral, but it is very hard.
I guess besides the couple of jokes I absolutely hated with Kit, I really think that she's the worst character right now. I know you said Jade was, but at least Jade isn't throwing out these ridiculous jokes. And I get that she is probably a spoiled princess who gets what she wants. And we did, one thing we did forget to mention in this episode is we do find out that Sorsha she actually told Jade to throw all the fights because Jade is the better warrior. But in episode 1, we do find out that Kit beats Jade, but it's because Jade is allowing her to win. So that does actually give me a little bit more respect for Jade because she is the better fighter, which we do get to see. When she fights Valentine, but Kit right now for me is like the worst character. Like it's just terrible. Like her and Graydon, like they deserve each other because I think they're the worst 2 characters right now in the show. Yeah.
So Hojo has a comment. Disney has officially killed my childhood.
I know.
Ugh, joking / not joking. Hojo, I completely agree. Nick Bayer has it. Ryan admitted if it had dragons in it, you would give it a 7. Yeah, I would. Anything, a dragon can hold a 5 or a 6 score just on its own. Definitely. So
this is the guy who didn't even. This is the guy who didn't even rate Drogon in his top 10 characters. Let's just remember that, people. Me and Lily were talking about
because we're talking about Game of Thrones. We're talking about Game of Thrones, and for me, dragons are not the breathing heartbeat of Game of Thrones. Dragons are the breathing heartbeat of House of the Dragon, but not Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, that's just where I stand on it. And if you want to know more about that, you need to check out Headless's live stream from last night, where we broke down and gave you our top 10 least favorite characters for the show. And I have some very good takes on some things. Especially the Hound, the Mountain, the Mountain. Yeah, and Sansa Stark. But I'm not going to tell you where they are on the list. You'll have to go find that out yourself. But yeah, just give them enough time, says Hojo. What was I saying? I was saying that if this series continues to go down the path that I believe it went down in episode 3, I will call early that this will be the worst TV show in history.
Oh, ouch!
Worst
brutal,
initial season. Okay, worst initial season. I will say that so far, if it keeps going that way, but we've got more than half to watch.
But you didn't watch Andor.
I never will. I never will watch Andor. That's Star Wars without lightsabers in space. Star Wars without lightsabers in space is not Star Wars to me.
No, there's not one lightsaber in that entire 12 episodes.
So then I am never watching it ever. 12 hours of non-Star Wars. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I would rather spend 12 hours of my time going into Clone Wars, or getting 12 hours deep in Clone Wars.
Yep, and that would be worth it.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my breakdown, guys. That's me officially done with the Willow breakdown for episode 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry and apologize to everybody who was here expecting slideshows and all that kind of stuff. That will return next week. I will do my bestest to be neutral when I watch episode 4. Although I do believe Disney are hiding it from everybody. Like, why upload it at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern? Like, are you trying to hide something from everyone?
Yeah, I know. Well,
why 3 o'clock Eastern? Why 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, but Disney, that's what they do with all their drops. I mean, it's everything.
Not at 3 in the morning, they don't. They don't do it all at 3 in the morning, do they?
Yeah. Andor, all the Star Wars, all the Marvel, it's all 3 a.m. Because what it is, it's 12 a.m. Western.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay,
California, Seattle, and all that.
Yeah, when they're switch over next day, done, upload, done. Yeah, I get it.
Yep. So that's why it's 3 a.m. for us in the West Coast. So for you, it would be like, what, 8 a.m.? It would be 8 a.m. the next day that you guys would actually get it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I have from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. to watch it, understand it, break it down, talk with you about it on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, crazy. So we're going to break it down. That's us done. Guys, thank you everybody that was here. I appreciate it. Headless, what you got coming up this week? Anything special? Anything planned? Anyone want to share anything with the community?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to go for these elf NFTs. I don't know why. But I'll try to get a couple, so I'll do a video tomorrow on that. Tomorrow I'll be live with you on Stable Clips at 9 p.m. I have a couple controversial. Well, I don't want to say too much because it's the game that we're playing. So I have a couple. Couple Funko, couple Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. I came up with. I actually one for Star Wars too. And then we'll be live Wednesday breaking down episode 4 of Willow on my channel. And then I don't know,
not so much breaking it down, but just so much like initial reaction.
Instant reaction because it gets dropped on Wednesday morning. So we'll be here at 9 p.m. Eastern, breaking down at 4 and reacting to it. And then this weekend I'm working on a new video for House of the Dragon, and then we'll be live again on Sunday with our big 2022 best and worst of Funko, and we have a huge panel. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, huge panel, guys. When I say huge, I mean huge, like not Willow size huge, but mountain size huge. Like
mountain size.
Yeah, huge. We got some big names. Of course, I'm going to be there, so that's all that matters, really. Milky's going to be there, so. Yeah, guys, Headless, thank you for being here. I appreciate you as always.
Absolutely.
Thank you for bearing with me through my connectivity issues this last week and not ghosting me and choosing somebody else to co-host these things with. I appreciate it because I'm sure there's other people that want to jump on these with us. And again, we're going to open that up to anybody watching it. So what we're going to try and keep this tradition of bringing people on for the final episode. Yep. I think that's a really cool thing that we can do. And yeah, we'll do that again. So stay tuned. If anybody wants to come on, let us know. Reach out. Stay active in the chat. Keep commenting. Keep being here. So what have I got coming up this week? So right now it's 2 o'clock in the morning for me, Tuesday. I am live in 24 hours hosting The Horseman. I will be having my final guest of 2022. Makes sense that it has to be the guy sat right here, Headless Ned Stark. He has helped me and pushed me and my content and my creativity for the last 6 months. If it wasn't for him accepting my appraisal to work together, I don't know what I'd be doing on YouTube right now because Funko killed it for me. They kind of killed it for themselves, but they killed it. For me, it wasn't feasible. I can't keep buying brand new product every single week and showing it off. And I only collect Game of Thrones. And who collects Game of Thrones? Nobody but me. So yeah, that's it. We're going to have Headless on tomorrow night. It's going to be the final one of the year. But that also gives Headless the golden key because he will be the final guest invited for the super mega party on the 1st of January or the first Tuesday of January, where I invite every guest that we've had for the last 12 months. They can come up, share what they've been doing for 2022, what they've got plans for 2023, all that kind of stuff. So that's what's going forward with the Horseman. I can't tell you about weeks after that because that's not what I run or what I host and stuff like that. But yeah, and that's about it really. I haven't put actual video out in a very long time because I've just been doing live streams. I think it's so much easier for me to just do this kind of content and just speak it live, and then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do all this crazy editing and stuff. But I am planning to do more stuff. I do have a couple of things in the works. Like, nobody's even seen me unbox this bad boy yet. Like, it's been unboxed and there's a recording there. It's just, for me, I put too much into the love of these videos, and I want these things to shine, and sometimes they don't. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Apart from that, I haven't got much else going on. Everything that Headless is doing, I'm pretty much doing the same thing. You'll catch me tomorrow night, Tuesday. You'll catch me Wednesday. You'll catch me Saturday. So what you're going to do is you're going to catch me Saturday, because I don't know if she's still in the chat, but I'm going to commit to this now. I'm going to go hang out with Baby Ice on Saturday night for a little bit on her stream, because I missed it this week because I was busy with connectivity issues and all this kind of stuff. We'll go hang out with her for an hour or so. So yeah, definitely check out Baby Ice's channel. I know she was here earlier. And that's about it. Sunday, yeah, the best Funko live stream of 2022. Be there or be square.
That's right.
You don't want to miss it. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. The guests that we've got coming on are absolute fire. And yeah, England, if you don't win the World Cup in 4 years' time, I'm going to cry, because I'm going to be living in America by then. And yeah, it's going to hurt. Guys, my name has been Ryan Milkey. This has been a breakdown for Willow episode 1, 2, and 3. I've been joined by my fantastic, amazing guest, Headless Ned Stark. Don't forget, Headless Horde, keep those heads on, and stay milky, everybody. Have a great night.
See you guys.
We love you. Bye, guys. I'm going to click that.